This is the story of how an armless man turned this ex-500,000-mile delivery van into something rather special, using mostly recycled materials and just his feet. This is Sun Van the movie. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Hi guys, so it's here, the new vehicle. When it comes to mileage, I have gone against what I said slightly. Well, not slightly. Put it this way, it's done 500,000 miles. 500,000 miles this has done. And still drives beautiful. My first stage of the project. This is my new Mercedes Sprinter van. I can just about stand up in it. It's a low top, but it's nice. It's a nice height for me. It's not too high for the car parks and that. But the first thing is I've got to take this bulkhead out because it's a bit of a pain in the arse and there's no light in there. It's really dark. So I'm going to start taking that out now.
3 hours later.
Right, I'm just seeing how much carpet I've got, and I've got, well, not a lot. It's enough to do, wow, just over half of the floor. So yeah, I probably will use it though, even though it's horrible green. It's what I've got, and I love recycling. Anyway, more exciting than that, I have received a parcel. Let's see what's in it. It's exciting. Oh, yeah. Wow guys, look at that. Right, time to fit some carpet. So this bit of carpet was found in my loft after the last camper build. It was left over from the leftovers in the loft that were originally there. It was there when I moved in actually. So this was perfect. It wasn't quite big enough to cover the whole floor area, but it's good enough to cover the bit I needed to cover. So here we go. This is just covering it all up, doing around the edges with a knife and scribing it all in. Had I been there, I would promise you all of my life, but to lose you would cut like a knife, so I don't dare. No, I don't dare. A bit creased because yeah, where it's been folded in the loft for years, it's creased there, but hopefully the creases will come out. Stop my tears, and I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Right, today I've got to take this load lock rail off. It's riveted on with about 4 million rivets. Today I'm going to start building the inside of the camper. I'm going to start off with the bed, but what I always try and do, people call me tight for this, but I always try and recycle as much as possible, and try not to buy anything, because I have got a shed with lots of bits and bobs in, and I managed to find an old bed frame. It's an old oak bed frame that my mum gave me about 10-12 years ago. So I'm going to try and utilise that to make some sort of a bed frame for the camper. I'll have to cut it down a bit, but yeah, rather than buying wood, which would be easy but more expensive, so I'm going to try and make it out of what I've got, or as much as what I've got, and then it's more of a sense of satisfaction for me. I like making something out of nothing. So yeah, I mean, lots of people say it's easier to just go and buy new stuff. Yeah, it is because you can just cut it how you want it, but I like recycling, so and I think this will work. It'll do the job. So yeah, here we go. Right, time to see if the bed will take your weight, Tom.
Okay, so stand here.
Yeah, no, stand on the slats.
Here.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, mate. So all the time you see people with these nice new camper vans, all posh, and they're all van lifers and they all love the planet and this, that and the other. But do they really love the planet? Because I'm making a camper van out of all recycled stuff. For a start, the carpet, that's recycled. That is the same carpet that I had in the old camper van. I had a bit left over that was in my loft, so it's been in a loft for years, so I've recycled that. That unit there, that came from my sister's move. When she moved house, she didn't have room for it, so I said, can I have it please for the van? It's perfect. I had that for the van. The bed frame, as you know, was my mum's old bed frame that's been in my loft for years and years and years. That is our old podcast backdrop, but I've got to obviously replace that with something else. I just put it there to sort of line the van for a minute. I've got some old tiles from Jeff's studio that I think I'm going to put on the ceiling. There's not enough of them, but I'm going to try and use as many as I can. I'm not sure really whether that's good enough or not, but it's what I've got at the moment. The only new thing I've actually bought is the toilet. I bought a new toilet. The bin actually come from the old camper van. I nicked it, which was a bit naughty. That thing there come from Jeff's old put me up bed. It's an old sheet. So yeah, this is all apart from the toilet, which I didn't really want to have a second-hand toilet, understandably. So apart from the toilet, everything else is used and second-hand. I love recycling, and I think it's the right way to go about it. So here's my new camper sideboard. I just got to give it a clean now. I might be the only person you've ever known that haggles in a charity shop. They got loads of money. It's got drawers, I've got to clean them, put it all back together. That cost me £10. Bargain. There is a big hole in the back, and the doors have been painted. So I'll show you the true. There, look, there's a big hole in the back, and the doors have been painted like the glass has been painted with spray paint. But they're good enough. I think I can make something out of them. I can make it look quite cool. So yeah, sorry about the chainsawing. I don't know why they always have to do it when I'm trying to do a video. But yeah, so we're getting there. I'm going to have a little tinker around and see what we can do. I've also started sticking the tiles up to the ceiling. There's 2 I've done so far. There's the rest of them. They're quite hard work. I've stuck them up with double-sided tape to see if they stay up, and if they do stay up, I'll do the rest. Or get some help to do the rest, because they're quite awkward.
Gets a little messy in heaven. Gets a little messy in heaven. I heard Jesus did cocaine on a night out. Eyes wide open, dilated, but he's fine now. And if his father ever finds out, then he probably knocks lights out. Gets a little messy in heaven. Gets a little messy in heaven. I heard Jesus did cocaine on a night out.
So today I started on the curtain pole. I was looking for something to use, and I was looking around the garden, and I found an old windbreak, the old poles out of it. So I used one of the poles and it fit perfectly. So I thought, I know what I'll do, I'll screw that to the van. So I screwed it one end, and then I started feeding the curtains on, like this, which today's girlfriend found in the charity shop for £5 the other day. A really good find. So I fed them on, and then I screwed the other end of the curtain rail. I screwed that to the van, the other end, and Bob's your uncle. We've got a most beautiful curtain rail that just came out of an old windbreak. Who'd have thought that, eh? But that is what you call the art of recycling. I love to recycle, make something out of nothing. It was just rotting in my garden, and now it's a beautiful curtain rail. Cosy. So I now had the unit by the door, and I wanted to install the battery and inverter so that it was in the kitchen area. So I put the inverter on the step and the battery underneath the unit. I had to cut a little slot out to get to the battery terminals, put the battery in there nice and securely. It is 1000 watt apparently. Hopefully it's going to be big enough to power the world's cutest kettle. So as with any domestic appliance, the lead's obviously not long enough. So I'll put some water in it and then I'll move it lower and see if we have enough power to boil this little kettle. So I'm thinking I might have to put an extension socket on here somewhere. But we'll just pop that there and we'll plug it into the inverter that I just put onto the battery. Let's plug her in. Right, moment of truth, I'm going to switch the inverter on. Right, let's turn this kettle on now. Oh, the lights come on. Wow! Yay, it's turned itself off. Well done, little kettle. So let's have a guided tour of the van. So here she is in all her glory. She is an old Sprinter with 515,000 miles on the clock. In the front you've got a rather lovely cab actually, with this lovely wood and stuff. She's quite a nice looking cab. So this is what I've done in the back. So I've gone to the charity shop and basically bought furniture. I figured that was the cheapest way of making the kind of camper. So the first thing I did was put the carpet in. So I've got this nice unit here, 15 quid from the charity shop. That one was 15 quid from the charity shop. This is where all the magic happens. There, so I've got my bed. I went for the traditional layout, but I think I'm going to change the layout later on. And that's why I'm showing you now this layout, and then I'm going to try another layout and see what's better. So we've got the boudoir there. That's got loads of storage underneath it. We've got some drawers under there. Unit that I bought from the charity shop. Anyway, moving on. This is the kitchen. So we've got a socket there. We've got a unit here. It's got tape on it to hold the drawers shut when I'm going along, which is a really good feature. None of it moves actually when I'm going along, apart from the drawers open. So that's the only thing that happens. So actually you don't need to screw it all in. You can have it so that you can move it around, and that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be able to move it around and use it as a van still, as well as using it as a camper, or a day van really. Don't really use it as a camper, I use it as a day van because they won't let me in the campsites because I ain't got any windows. So if anyone can fit me some windows, then I can go in the campsites, that'd be really cool. Anyway, under here we've got the toilet, which is quite useful when you're caught short in the middle of nowhere. Got a little drawer unit there. I'm going to get rid of that one. That one was just that replaced that, so that's probably going. It's in the way. We got water there. Yeah, I'm going to move it all around and try putting the kitchen at the back and the bed here as like a sort of corner sofa type thing. Yeah, let's try it. Why not? Give it a go. Anyway, guys, I thought I'd give you a guided tour of how it is now, and then I'll show you what it's like when I moved it all around. Nice van though, isn't she?
Your problem's not that you're poor, it's just you suck at being poor. If you want nice shit, you're just gonna have to take some old shit and make it nice shit. Being completely useless is a luxury of the rich. And you're not rich, you're poor. If you want to be poor and just have old garbage, then fine, you're good to go. But if you're going to sit around and cry about how you have nothing nice, but then you're doing nothing to have anything nice, that's your own fault. If you're able-bodied and broke, that's nothing but opportunity. And if you're like, I don't know how to fix stuff. Yeah, no one does, until they do. You ever met a baby who knew how to do flat roofing? You're going to suck at it at first. But you're poor. If you want it to be nice, you're going to have to just keep doing it until it's nice. I know people in their 40s and don't even know how their toilet works. You sit on it every day. Just sit on it backwards once and look at the innards. There's tons of old trash everywhere. Just take it home. Polish it up. Now you have nice stuff. You go to a job and you sell a dude your time for an hourly wage. Why not sell yourself some time? And in exchange for your time, now you have nice shit. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm rooting for you. So get out there. Get some old shit. Make it nice shit. You might fail. Then try again. Doesn't matter. You'll get there eventually.
The layout has changed, so I've now put the bed there, but the bed's not just a bed. It's actually 2 sofas and a table as well. I haven't made the table yet. It's just down as a bed at the moment. And then we've got our side there. I've actually just picked up a wardrobe from next door, and there's these lovely bits of wood in there, bits of pine, and both the sides of the wardrobe will be perfect for new countertops. There's my fridge at the moment. Done all the electrics, so that's your solar charge controller there. 2 USB sockets in there as well, and that's showing that my solar is charging. That's my inverter. That's my leisure battery down there, which I've secured in place. I've just chucked a few bits on top of it for a minute just to make it tidy for you. But there's my leisure battery. So yeah, it's coming together nicely. Once I've got the countertops on, it'll sort of get rid of that gap. But I quite like having that gap for storage actually. So it's definitely made it a bit more spacious in here, I think. A bit more of a usable space. Especially having that as a seating area as well. Really nice. I quite like this layout. I know a lot of people like the traditional bed at the end, bed at the back, and I can always change it back there easily now because I've got those 2 units. So I've basically built another box under there. I've got this one here, so I can always have the bed across if I want, so I can have it across there as well, so I can have it wherever I want, so it's totally changeable. And this is all made out of recycled stuff. It's either come out of the charity shop, or it's come out of my shed, or it's come out of, like, the carpet was from my sister's house. That carpet was from my loft. That unit come from the charity shop. This is obviously, this counter things come from the neighbours. That I've had for donkey's years. So basically everything here is recycled or from a charity shop. It's easy to go and build a camper van out of brand new stuff, but doing it out of all recycled stuff is much more rewarding, I think, because you're trying to make something out of nothing, and I like that. I like trying to make something out of nothing, and it's much cheaper to do. So yeah, here it is anyway. It's I think it's coming on quite well. I'm going to try and get a sink somewhere. I think I'm going to put it here somewhere. Sort of a little idea actually. So I've got some empty gas bottles. I'm going to mount the sink on top of it to drain into that. So yeah. Anyway, that's the progress so far. So I need somewhere to mount the sink, and I think I might have come up with a plan. So yes, I admit I'm a hoarder, and about 20 years ago I took the sink out of an old boat, and I've kept it ever since, and it's actually going to come in useful now. I thought I want to mount it on something. Shall I make like a box, because a lot of people have like sink units that are boxes. I thought, no, I want to be a bit more quirky. I thought, shall I use the gas bottle, mount it on there? And then I thought, no, I can go one step further. I have this I think will work better. I'm going to try bashing that lot out first. If I can bash that lot out and make it big enough for this, then that's going to be perfect. First I have to get it in the van though. Yeah, it's got it in, and then all I did was sort of tried it in a couple of different places, and then I put the sink on the top, just sort of getting into positions, But yeah, I think it'll work. It's just going to take a little bit of fettling about. I've got to try and get rid of that neck on the top of the barrel to sit the sink on, and then find a way of sitting it on properly. But that's how it fits at the moment with the neck. I've got to try and cut the neck off of the barrel. I don't think it's supposed to come off. God, it's hard work. Whew. Look at that, guys. Yes. Perfect. Just about the right height by the time I get my worktop on. Absolutely lovely. So, very quirky. It's got its own tank, and you can take it out, wash up outside if you want to. Day quite a few of building a camper van or a day van out of all recycled stuff. And today's girlfriend brought down some sofa cushions that she found by the side of the road, and that's definitely what you call recycling. Anyway, they smell a bit doggy in that, and you know. So pulled the cushion covers off, revealed this absolutely lovely foam. Actually, it looks a bit rough, obviously, because it's like I've just cut it with a knife, and it's yeah. But here it is. So I've cut it to the size I want it, and it fits a treat. So basically, it's going to mean that I've got a seat cushion, and a back. Now that back, I didn't have the right shape foam to make one big back, so I've just got it in two halves. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to upholster it in one, like stick it together with a board behind, or whether it's going to be two smaller cushions. But it works out quite well as the bed, and yeah, there it is. Looks very rough at the moment, but once I've upholstered it, you would never know. And the foam is absolutely lovely. It's really nice and sort of quite firm but soft, if you know what I mean. So you can't feel the wood through it. And that is underlay, and I'm thinking I might actually put a layer of underlay on top of each one before I upholster it. And I'm going to upholster it with a duvet cover that was given to me by Jeff. He gave me this this old duvet cover, so I'm going to cover it with that first, and then something else, so that it's going to be double covered, so that any smells or anything hopefully get neutralised. But yeah, that is what you call recycling, guys. I know I'm a bit of a hobo for doing that, but I love recycling. That was free, and it'll be good enough for me. Just to show you that I can cut straight. There, saw line. There. That's a foot cut. Nice and straight, so I can cut straight lines. That'll do nicely. Look at that. Recycle. That's the back of an old wardrobe. That's the foam off an old sofa. I'm aware this bit of wood might fall apart, but I have a plan.
You gotta do this. 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 You gotta do this.
Slowly but surely she's coming together.
You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this.
Look at that. Oh, let's get my tap over there in the corner. Cool. This side of the wardrobe putting in now. Just I don't know whether to have a curved edge or a straight edge. Looking good though, all recycled. My van build is mostly out of recycled materials, but I do have a little confession to make. I purchased a new item. Look at that. This is a water dispenser. It's electronic and it actually sits on top of the water bottles that they put in offices. But I'm not going to do that. Well, I kind of am, but not really, because I'm going to sit it next to my sink with a tube going through to the bottle, and it'll look something like this. There, so it just sits there like that, with the tube going through, and then you just simply press the button on the top. It will dispense your water so I can wash my feet or whatever. And then, yeah, so I reckon that's quite a good little investment. It was only £10, £9.99 actually, because I had some money off. So I thought I'll give it a go. I've read some mixed reviews about it. Some of them are good and some of them are bad. I've found a piece of tube which is recycled in my shed, which is there to go into this tank, which is also recycled. So yeah, we're getting there. Mostly recycled parts, but that's how I'm going to dispense my water. So hopefully it'll work. Let's get it fitted. That is so cool. And you just charge it. The USB socket there. You just charge it up. No wires, that's what I like. Van life. So most people have their bed along the back, or at the back, and they have a garage underneath. I don't like that layout. I've tried it. I don't really like it. I like this layout. And this is how easy it is for me to put my bed away and turn it into a sofa. This allows you to have a much smaller van because you can use the space for two different things.
sometimes late at night.
And there you have it, a nice, comfy, cosy corner sofa and a lot more floor space. So you've got a lot more usable space now.
She's lost in peaceful dreams, so I turn out the
Sofa here,
light,
kitchen there.
lay there in the dark,
And that's why I haven't got
and a thought crosses
an end
my
bed.
mind.
I think this is better. Today I have decided I'm going to do my decorations on the van, the walls, in newspaper. Decided to do it on the hottest day of the year, with the noisiest person in the world behind me, doing some drilling or something. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to mix up some PVA and see what it's like with newspaper on it. I hope it looks okay. I've seen people do it before and it looked okay. I hope it looks okay. This is something different. I thought just use old newspapers because this is the recycled camper. So keeping with the theme, I've recycled some newspapers. So thank you Norma for the newspapers, and let's get cracking and see how it looks.
To myself to say stay how much she means to me, and avoid that circumstance where there's no second chance to tell her how I feel. 'Cause if tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I love her? Until I try in every way to show her every day that she's my only one.
This has taken a lot longer than I thought it would. So far, I've done that. Some quite funny headlines in there. Some of it seems to be unsticking though, which is rather annoying.
If tomorrow never comes, so tell that someone that you love just what you're thinking of.
Oh, I've got a nice ripped edge in there as well, boy.
Master at work.
Well, I'm rumbling in this JCB. I'm 5 years old and my dad's a giant sitting beside me, and the engine rattles my bum like berserk. While we're singing, don't forget your shovel if you wanna go to work. My dad's probably had a bloody hard day, but he's been good fun and bubbling and joking away. And the procession of cars stuck behind are getting all impatient and angry as we don't mind.